So, hi guys, good day. Ito yung continuation ng last topic natin. But before we go on to the lesson 2, additional on the hardware. A hardware guys, known as the physical parts of the computer. We're talking physical parts of the computer. It is a tangible. There are two types of hardware in a system unit. The one is the internal hardware and the second one is the external hardware. We're talking internal hardware. The internal hardware, it is the devices inside of the system unit. Now we're talking external hardware, it is a device outside of the system unit. In external hardware, there is a two type of external hardware. We have the input devices and the output devices. Now we're talking input devices. Input devices is any peripheral or pieces of a computer hardware equipment to provide data and control signal to a computer or other information appliances. Input devices translate data from that human understand to one that computer can work with. Most common are keyboard and mouse. We're talking input devices. It is a devices that when you put it in your system unit, you can control it and you can use what application what you want it. That is an input devices. Now, ang input devices daw class, it is a devices na ginagamit para makontrol natin yung unit natin or para mapili natin yung application na gusto natin gamitin. Halimbawa na nito, pag pinasok mo yung input devices guys, pag ginalaw mo, once na ginalaw mo daw si input devices, magkakaroon ng control. Pag na-control mo naman siya, automatically may lalabas. Pag pinasok mo, kinontrol mo, kinalaw-galaw mo, saka may lalabas. At yung lalabas na yon, doon dadaan kay output devices. Now, ano ba yung common na alam natin na input devices? It's keyboard and mouse. Why the keyboard and mouse? Keyboard using po in input text. If you want to input a text, you need to use a keyboard. If you want to select an application, you need to use mouse. So, yun yung mga common lang na alam natin na input devices. But there's a lot of input devices. Example of input devices, we have keyboard, numeric keypad, pointing devices or mouse. We have remote control, joystick, touchscreen, scanner, graphics, microphone, digital camera, webcam, and light pen. Now, lahat nito guys, pag na-input mo to or napasok mo to kay system unit, pwede mo to siyang gamitin. Kahit anong application, bawat devices dito guys, may ginagamit na application. Halimbawa lang nito yung webcam. So, kailangan gumamit ng camera application. We have scanner. So, gagamit ka pa rin ng application, scanner app. So, lahat yan guys, yan yung tinatawag natin na input devices. So, output devices. Pag sinabing output devices, ito yung nagpapalabas ng data or ng product na kaya nating basahin. Now, output devices. An output device is any piece of computer hardware equipment used to communicate result of data, processing card out, and information processing system such as computer which converted the electronically generated information into a human readable. We're talking human readable. It is an output na pwede nating mabasa. Kasi nga, pag ang data nasa loob pa yan ni computer, si computer pa lang yung nakakabasa na yan. Pero pag lumabas na yan at nagkaroon na ng output, ibig sabihin, pwede na yan basahin ng tao. We have the printable or readable data. Yan yung mga printing devices yung ginagamit. We have what? Printer. So, ito yung, these are the type of input devices. We have CRT monitor, TFT monitor, laser printer, inkjet printer, dot matrix printer, we have speaker, plotter, multimedia projector, lahat yan guys. Kasi nga, pag sinabing output devices, yan yung nakikita natin. Pag nakita mo, pag narinig mo, galing sa system unit, palabas, dito sa output devices at naiintindihan ng tao, yun yung tinatawag na input devices. So na guys, we are proceed to lesson 2. Kasi nga, okay na yun eh. Yan lang yung additional doon sa lesson 1 natin. It is input devices and output devices. Tandaan, pag sinabing input devices, it is a device that when you plug in into a system unit, you can control your unit, you can select what application you want it, you can input a text. Now, we're talking output devices. It is a devices produce an output. Ibig sabihin, ito yung nakikita natin, ito yung mababasa natin. So, lesson 2. Sa lesson 2 natin guys, dito natin lalaliman yung pag-aaral ng computer hardware. Ano ba yung function ng mga hardware na to? Ano ba yung function ni CPU? Ano ba yung parts of the CPU na gumagalaw processing data? Now, we have hardware component in a computer. How efficiently hardware and software complete task is called performance. When we're talking complete task, yung natatapos na ni hardware at ni software gawin or di kaya ng gawin ni software at ni hardware, ang tawag dun is performance. Ibig sabihin, yung bilis at yung nakikita nating galaw ng system natin or ng computer natin, tinatawag na performance. The system unit is the case that contains a computer main system components. We are talking system unit. Di ba pinakita ko sa inyo in lesson 1, what is system unit? Now, we're talking system unit. Yan daw yung mga components ni system. Yan daw yung component ng computer natin or system components. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng nasa loob ni system unit, it's a components of a computer. The computer main circuit board is called the motherboard. Now, sa system unit, meron tayong tinatawag na motherboard. And it is a circuit board. Pero ang commonly name nito is motherboard. A circuit board is a thin metal plate with an extensive electronic circuit. Now, eto pa lang si circuit board or si motherboard, napakanipis na metal board nito. Tapos, meron siyang mga electronic circuit. Ibig sabihin ng electronic circuit, guys, yun yung nagpapagana sa kanya. All of the essential chip and the circuitry that connects them are on the board. Like what I said, meron siyang chip na nagpapagana doon at dinadalo yan ng electricity para gumana si motherboard. Now, eto si motherboard, guys. Si motherboard, meron siyang mga parts. We have the fan, heatsink, CPU, RAM, ROM chip, and as a whole, as a motherboard. So, dito pala naka-attach si CPU kay motherboard. Pati si RAM. Now, we are talking CPU, the Central Processing Unit. Alam ko na alam nyo what is CPU. It's the brain of the computer. Now, ang pag-aaralan naman natin ngayon, paano ba gumagalaw si CPU? CPU is a single computer chip that contains all the electronic circuitry a computer needs to process data. Si CPU daw guys, nag-iisang chip na naglalaman ng mga electricity devices na kung saan nagpo-process to ng data. A chip is a small and thin piece of silicon containing electronic circuits, which is why a chip is called integrated circuit or it is known as IC. Now, si chip daw na to guys, napakaliit at saka isa siyang silicon electronic kung saan naglalaman to ng electricity para matrabaho niya yung data galing sa kay CPU. Parts of the CPU. Now, there are 3 parts of the CPU. The one is arithmetic logic unit or we call it ALO. we have the CU or the control unit, and we have the registers. Now, we're talking ALO. Pag sinabing arithmetic and logic yan, performs arithmetic calculation and logical performance. Ibig sabihin, pag math yung pinag-uusapan, pag calculation yung pinag-uusapan dyan guys, ang nagpo-process niya sa CPU, sa parts of the CPU, is yung tinatawag nating ALO. The control units coordinates or processor activities and manage the flow of information through the processor. Si control unit naman guys, siya yung kumukuha ng lahat ng information sa kanya to pinaprocess. Yan yung ginagawa ni control unit. Registers are memory cells that for temporary storing data need by ALO to perform its calculation. Ibig sabihin naman, eto na naman si register guys, siya yung nag-store ng data na hindi naman niya permanently sinisave. It is a temporary saving the data. Binibigay niya to kay ALO para magawa ni ALO yung calculation. The example of this guys is pag gumagamit tayo ng calculation. The data of the calculation is temporarily saved. After you exit the file, automatically will delete it. Clock speed. Ang clock speed na to guys, hindi to yung bilis ng oras. It is the process or speed of the computer. Machine cycle are measured in a microseconds, nanosecond, even picoseconds. So, ang cycle ng computer natin or ng process ng processor ni computer is may tinatawag silang microseconds, nanosecond, and picosecond. The faster the machine cycle, the faster your computer process the data. Ibig sabihin, kung gaano kabilis mag-process ng data o magpasa ng data sa computer natin, ganun din kabilis mag-process ng data yung computer natin. The speed of the processor it directly influence the speed of the machine cycle. Ibig sabihin guys, kung gaano kabilis si processor natin, ganun din kabilis niya na-apektuhan ang pagkalaw ng machine cycle. The processor speed is also called the clock speed. So like what I said before, ito yung clock speed, ito yung bilis ni processor, which is the number of instructions CPU can process per seconds. So, ito daw yung bilis na kayang i-process ni processor per seconds. Ilang milyong processor or instruction yung kayang gawin ni CPU. The computer has a system clock that generates a regular electronic bit to set the pace of timing of the system operation. So si computer daw guys, meron siyang clock speed na nagre-regulate ng bilis nito para makuha ni system operation yung tamang bilis or paano ba niya to pinaprocess ng nasa tamang oras. Each bit of the system clock is called a cycle. So bawat bit doon guys, tinatawag siyang cycle. Clock speed is stated in megahertz. So ang clock speed pala, ang pagbibilang nito is megahertz, or we have hertz, saka nagkakaroon ng megahertz, which is billion cycle per second. Ibig sabihin, pag naka megahertz ka, million cycles per seconds yung kayang i-process ng CPU natin. Pag naka gigahertz ka naman, which is a billion cycle per seconds. Ibig sabihin, mas maganda siguro pag naka billion or naka gigahertz ka, kasi nga billion cycles yung kaya niyang gawin per seconds. So we have the bit size. It is another measure of a computer performance. So pag sinabing bit size guys, ito yung another way kung paano pinaprocess ni CPU yung data. Bit size is how much the bytes of data the CPU can retrieve from RAM at once. So pag sinabing nating bytes, ito yung kayang ibalik ni CPU galing kay RAM. Ibig sabihin, ito yung kaya niyang trabahuin sabay sila ni RAM. A bit of the data is roughly equivalent to the one character. We're talking one character. So, ibig sabihin, pag 1 byte, it is equivalent of 1 character. An 8-bit of CPU can process 1 byte at the time. So, ibig sabihin, pag naka 8-bit lang yung CPU natin, kaya niya lang mag-process ng isang byte. So, pag 16-bit na naman yung CPU natin, kaya niya mag-process ng 2 byte at the time. Pag naka 32-bit ka guys, so can't process 4 byte at once. So kaya niyang mag-process ng bytes sa iisahan lang. Pag naka 64-bit ka, CPU can process 8 byte at once. So ibig sabihin, pag naka 64-bit ka, mas malakas, kaya niyang mag-process ng byte na 8 beses niya ito na-process sa isang click lang. Type of processor. We have a lot of type of processor. We have a multicore processor. It's a single chip that contains more than one processor. Ibig sabihin guys, ito palang multiprocessor na to guys, ay multicore processor na to guys, pinagsama yung dalawang processor or more than 2 or 3 processor sa iisang chip lang. If a computer contains a multicore processor, the operating system can use multiprocessing to split tasks among the processor. Ibig sabihin guys, pag naka multi-core processor ka, kaya niya magtrabaho ng kahit ilang application man yung nagsasabay, kaya niya itong pagsabayin. Each processor can work at different tasks at the same time. Like what I said before, kayang mag-open ng Microsoft Word, kayang mag-open ng PowerPoint, and pwede ka pa rin mag-Facebook at the same time. Yun yung kakayahan ng multi-core processor. A single core processor can enhance performance using by multitasking and multi-reading. When we're talking single processor, ang kaya lang daw nito guys is multitasking and multi-reading. So kaya niyang ng dalawang process at dalawang pagre-read ng data. Pero hindi niya to, multitasking can run more than one program. Ibig sabihin, mahigit lang sa isa yung kaya niyang patakbuhin na program. With multi-reading and the operating system handle many parts of threads of a single program. Ibig sabihin, isang program lang yung kaya niyang basahin. Kaya nga, kasi nga, tinatawag siya na single core processor. With a multi-core processor, the operating system can use multiprocessing, multitasking, and multi-reading to improve performance. So like what I said before, kaya niya lahat, kaya yung pagsabayin, yung tatlo na to, in a one click lang. Kaya mong mag-open ng YouTube, kaya mong mag-open ng PowerPoint, kaya niya rin mag-games. With a single core processor, the operating system can only use multitasking and multi-reading. Same explanation kanina, dalawa lang yung kaya ni single core processor. Memory. The CPU operating system and application use memory and chip inside the system unit to store the data and instruction. So si CPU daw guys, meron siyang application or meron siyang sariling memory na nakaloob na sa system unit natin. Siya yung nag-i-store o nagsisave ng data ng bawat instruction na ginagawa natin kay CPU. A computer has two types of memory, volatile and non-volatile. We're talking RAM. RAM means R, stand for random, A, access, M, memory. Random access memory is a volatile memory that loses in content when you turn off the computer. We're talking RAM. Pag sinabing si RAM guys, it is a temporarily stored data. Ibig sabihin, kay RAM walang forever. Once you're turning off your computer, automatically your data will be lost. So the example of this guys, when you're encoding using Microsoft Word, if you shut down your computer, automatically your data will be lost. Unlike kay ROM, ROM means R, read, O, only, M, memory. It is non-volatile memory because it is a permanent, it does not lose its content when you turn off the computer. Ibig sabihin, eto nga pala si ROM na to, siya yung nagsisave ng data permanently. Even you shutting down your computer, automatically, your data will be saved. So, yun yung pagkakaiba ni RAM at saka ni ROM. Pag sinabing RAM, walang forever, temporarily. Pero pag naka-ROM ka na, diyan, may permanent, may forever. Ganun lang yun guys. We have RAM, data information and instruction from application and the operating system are stored temporarily. So na-explain ko na to kanina, nagsisave lang siya ng data temporarily. RAM usually consists a several chip on a circuit board called a memory module, which is plugged into the motherboard. So yung nakikita nyo dito guys, yan yung tinatawag na RAM chip. Then automatically plug into one motherboard, then gagana na yung RAM natin. RAM has a significant effect on a performance. Yes, si RAM kasi guys, pag wala kang RAM, automatically hindi magdi-display sa monitor ang system natin. At nakaka-apekto rin to sa performance ng system natin. Without enough RAM, the operating system must be moved data and out of RAM frequently, slowing performance. Ibig sabihin guys, pag hindi masyado ganun kalakas ang RAM natin, magkakaroon doon ng slowing performance. Ibig sabihin, ihina ang galaw ng mga application natin at ng computer natin. Kasi nga, every application, meron siyang nire-required na lakas ng RAM natin. Thrashing means the operating system spent more time swiping data than running software. Ito naman si thrashing guys, mas nag-expend siya ng time or ng oras sa pagsaswipe ng data kaysa pinapatakbo nito. Ibig sabihin, once na mahina yung RAM natin, babagal din yung swiping ng data ni thrashing. Pero if ang RAM natin is malakas, automatically ang swiping ng data natin bibilis. ROM, read-only memory, stored on a single chip on the motherboard. So ibig sabihin, isa to siyang chip na maliit guys. Wala kasi akong actual motherboard dito na nakalagay to sa motherboard. The operating system retrieves data or program in a room when it needs them. So ibig sabihin guys, ang operating system natin, lahat ng data na nakasave sa operating system natin, mariretrieve natin yon gamit si ROM pag kinakailangan. The operating system does not write over the content of ROM. Ibig sabihin, si operating system hindi siya nakasave kay ROM. Caches. In addition to RAM, the CPU access memory caches to speed processing. So, eto palang si caches na to guys, siya yung nagdadagdag ng bilis ng RAM natin at pag-access ni CPU. We have the level 1 cache and we have the level 2. If level 1 lang yung cache mo guys, memory is small amount of the memory stored on the CPU itself. Ibig sabihin, si CPU, ang ginagamit niya na memory is yung naka-installed mismo or yung built-in mismo sa kanya. Pag nasa level 2 ka naman, memory is a larger amount of memory that can reside on the computer on a chip that has directly connection to the CPU. Ibig sabihin, eto namang level 2, meron siyang kasamang chip or katabi si CPU na chip at yun yung nagsusupport sa kanya na mag-save ng marami pang data. Heatsink and fan. Processor in a laptop, desktop, and server generate a lot of heat. So, ang processor natin or ang CPU natin, nagpo-produce yan siya ng init lalo na pag masyado na siyang ginagamit at malakas na yung application na ginagamit natin. As the temperature increase, the system slow down to avoid overheating, which is severe impairs performance. Ibig sabihin, pag umiinit na yung CPU natin, na hinihinaan naman ito ang kanyang pag-process para maiwasan niya ang pag-overheat at doon nagkakaroon ng mabagal na performance ang computer natin. To prevent overheating, one or more fans in the system unit draw cooler air into the case from the outside, expel warm air from the inside. Ibig sabihin, dapat meron tayong tinatawag na system fan na kung saan yung isa hinihigop yung init palabas at yung isa naman kumukuha ng malamig na hangin papasok sa system natin. The fans move air across the heatsink. Ibig sabihin, si fan daw, yung hangin niya dumadaan kay heatsink. Collect heat from the electronic component so that the fan can cool it quickly. Hinihigop ni fan yung init galing kay heatsink at si heatsink naman kinikuha yung init ng CPU natin palabas na kung saan pinapabilis nito ang paglamig ng CPU natin. Performance indicator. You can tell how efficiently a computer is working by tracking its CPU and RAM usage. Now, madali nating malalaman kung nahihirapan na ba or nabibigatan na ba si CPU natin at saka si RAM usage na RAM natin gamit ang performance indicator. You can track the CPU and RAM usage windows by using Task Manager. So, sa OS natin, yes, meron dyan Task Manager. Task Manager is a kind of system application. Task Manager give you as a behind-the-scene glimpse at how Windows interacting with the hardware, resource, and other software. Now, si Task Manager, magbibigay sa'yo o ipapakita ni Task Manager sa'yo kung ano ang nangyayari sa hardware mo. Hindi natin yan kadalasan nakikita kasi nga we are focusing on how to use our computer or using the application only. But you need to check that one, guys, para malaman mo na sumusobra na pala yung paggamit mo ng CPU mo at saka ng RAM mo. Performance indicator. So, eto siya, guys. Now, dito sa diagram na to, guys, makikita mo yung galaw ni CPU at saka ni RAM. System required. System requirements are hardware characteristics such the amount of memory and the processor speed. Now, guys, we're talking system requirements. Some of us bumibili ng computer or laptop nakabase sa itsura. Ito, guys, a piece of advice. Pag bibili tayo ng unit, if you want to buy something or you want to buy laptop or computer, please, the first thing you need to look at your system is we called it specification. Why? Kasi nga, doon sa specification na yun, guys, makikita mo kung gaano kalakas yung hardware ng computer natin or laptop. Huwag kang magpalinlang sa kung ano yung nasa panglabas na kaanyuan. Kasi nga, nakita mo manipis, ang ganda, ang liit, pero baka isang picture lang ang kaya nun. Pag nag-encode ka naman, saka ka matapos kakahintay ng loading, 3 years, saka mo matatapos yung pag-encode mo. Kasi nga, ganyan yung ginagawa ng ibang seller. Pinapaganda yung nasa labas, but yung nasa loob, luma na, mabagal pa. Kaya nga, meron tayong tinatawag na system requirement. Kasi nga, sa system requirements, guys, every application na ine-install natin sa laptop natin or sa computer natin, nagre-require yan ng system requirements. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, naglagay ka ng games without using a RAM or high graphics unit, ibig sabihin useless yung application na binili mo kasi hindi mo magagamit kasi nga hindi nag-meet yung system requirements. An application lists this hardware specification on the product box or website. Ibig sabihin, guys, pag halimbawa bumili ka ng application, kung may gusto kang application, makikita mo doon naka-list down, guys, kung anong specification yung magmi-meet yung imi-meet ng application na yon sa computer mo. Halimbawa lang nito, bibili ako ng NBA 2K 2020. Now, ang gusto ng application na yon, dapat naka 16GB RAM ako. Now, meron akong 2GB video card. Ibig sabihin, pag wala yun sa unit ko, useless na bibilhin ko ang software na yon or ang application na yon. Operational hardware requirements. Some applications include the future design for particular hardware. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, na may mga application talaga na naghahanap ng mga specification or dapat lakas ng computer natin or ng computer hardware natin. Many popular applications now include the feature that accept input from the touch screen, so you can use a fingertip to select command on a handwrite text input. These are optional hardware requirements. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga application na naghahanap ng mga hardware na kung saan, halimbawa lang nito, sa laptop natin, some of laptop nagre-require ng fingerprint tips at saka touchscreen. Ibig sabihin, yung application na yon, hindi yun pwedeng i-install sa laptop na which is ang laptop lang natin is not, hindi siya touchscreen or touchable ang screen. You can use the software without the hardware, but having the hardware extended the future of the software. Ibig sabihin, pwede natin gamitin yung software na yon, but hindi mo lahat magagamit dun sa software na yon. Halimbawa lang nito, pag gusto mong mag-type, so nagre-require siya ng touchscreen, pero ang unit mo, it is not a touchscreen, ang mga gamit mo lang doon is keyboard. Pero hindi lahat ng option nun pwedeng gamitin kay keyboard. Yun yung pagkakaiba. Kaya nga, dapat, once na bibili kayo ng application, or any application you want to install on your computer, please check the requirements. So, I think that's all for this day, class. So, by tomorrow, magkakaroon tayo ng activity regarding on this explanation, on this topic. So, dapat ma-prepare nyo yung take note nyo. So, that's all and goodbye.